judo 6-time champ of the world. I'm chilling right here with my boy Jay Calderon, man. And keeping it funky, baby. You know how we do, pound for pound the greatest.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. Over the past weekend in the middleweight division for the vacant IBF middleweight crown, it was Daniel Jacobs, Brooklyn's own, taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko. It was a very good fight that took place on HBO, one of the last fights that are going to be taking place before the year is over in 2018. As we know, 2019, HBO will no longer be doing boxing. So this was a very special treat in Madison Square Garden, New York City, the home of Daniel Jacobs, where he put on a very good display against a tough game, solid contender in the middleweight division of 160 pounds with Sergey Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko looked very strong, very determined, but he did not have the skill set that Daniel Jacobs had. Jacobs used his hand speed, he used his boxing ability, he used the height and reach with his jab, keeping Derevyanchenko at distance and landing some very quick ripping counter shots. Daniel Jacobs landed a very quick, short right hand on the inside that dropped Sergey to the canvas, and it was a flash knockdown. Wasn't really that much. Sergey was able to collect himself, get right back into the fight, but Daniel Jacobs boxed beautifully throughout this fight. He did get caught with some very good, clean shots by Sergey. Sergey was getting closer and closer as the rounds got into the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th round, where you saw Sergey working the body and trying to wear Jacobs down. But it was Sergey Derevyanchenko that started to look like he was wearing down in the second half, later part of this fight. And then we saw the second win that he came in the 11th and 12th round, where I gave him those rounds because he closed out the show very strongly, and he was on Jacobs. Jacobs was just trying to keep the tempo, but he was also fighting back, and he showed that championship heart. He showed the experience factor in this fight that led him to victory, because he won 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards to win a split decision victory and become the newly crowned IBF middleweight champion. Now a 2-time world champion in the middleweight division. Daniel Jacobs is back on top. Congratulations to my Brooklyn brother. And this is a very good victory because it brings all the title belts to the DAZN live stream network, where UK promoter Eddie Hearn now has 2 middleweight champions on his side, and Golden Boy Promotions has Canelo Alvarez, the biggest star in the middleweight division, that holds 2 of the middleweight title belts. So now we have a very good setup, because guys like Triple G, who is the biggest free agent right now without a television network, is out there shopping for a deal. There's been rumors that he's going to join PBC and the Showtime Fox television network. I don't think that's going to really happen. It's just rumors. They really do not have anyone over there for Gennady Golovkin to fight other than Jermall Charlo. That's a very good fight, but it's not a pay-per-view fight. It's not a big attraction fight. It's a fight fans fight. It's a fight that the fans would love to see, Triple G versus Charlo. But other than that, what else is out there? You know, you got Gennady Lara that has to move up to the middleweight division. You know, you got guys like Jarrett Hurd, who rules as the junior middleweight king. He will have to move up to 160 pounds to make a fight right there. There's not a lot of interesting fights for Triple G over there. You know, so is it the money factor? I believe that ESPN could give more money to Triple G, and there's much more options over there with Gilberto Ramirez, who's the super middleweight champ. He can move up to face him. You have Rob Brandt, who just won a world title, who's a free agent on television network. He could fight him. He could also fight a big fight with Billy Joe Saunders, who's still a top contender in the middleweight division, and Frank Warren has a relationship with ESPN right now. There's options over there. You know, DAZN is the best option for Triple G, but is he willing to come over to DAZN? Because the only 2 top promoters that are over there on DAZN that have total signing power to sign any big fighters onto that network is Golden Boy Promotions and also Eddie Hearn. So right there, we have to see who is Triple G going to join as far as having a co-promoter, because they really don't have a great relationship with Golden Boy. There was a lot of hostility with these guys building up to the rematch with Canelo Alvarez. We know that the Canelo Alvarez is a very big money fight for Triple G, but that's a fight that I don't think is going to happen right away. Daniel Jacobs has already said that he's not going to fight Triple G right away. He wants the Canelo Alvarez fight. He called out Canelo Alvarez after the fight. He says, let's make this title unification for 3 of the middleweight title belts. And it's going to look like May of 2019 that Eddie Hearn is going to approach Golden Boy Promotions to make this fight a reality. And it's a big fight for Cinco de Mayo 2019. And I would love to see this fight. Daniel Jacobs is a very live underdog, even though Canelo Alvarez has moved up to the super middleweight division for this opportunity to make history and becoming a 3-division world champion by facing a very lesser opponent in Rocky Fielding. This guy right now is not the real WBA super middleweight champion at 168 pounds. He's a very tall fighter. He has the height and reach advantage against Canelo Alvarez, but Alvarez has the experience and the speed and also the boxing skills to beat a guy like Rocky Fielding. This guy is not on Canelo Alvarez's level. Canelo Alvarez will be successful. There's been rumors that he says that he might stay at 168 pounds. He's just too small for these real super middleweights in that division that have the size advantage over him and that are much more better fighters in that division for him to face. And that will be a real tough challenge for Canelo Alvarez. So I believe him moving back down to the middleweight division where he still has both of those titles, the WBC and the WBA title, he could defend those titles against Daniel Jacobs. It's a great fight that won't be on pay-per-view because of his deal with DAZN, where you get to pay $10 a month for subscription and watch this fight right here. The Rocky Fielding fight is going to be a free fight for everyone that doesn't have DAZN. They subscribe and they have that free month subscription, and that's the gimmick right there because they're going to get a lot of Canelo fans, a lot of Mexican fans, people that love boxing that are going to subscribe with DAZN, and they're going to get to see that fight for free. And then it's going to be the build-up if he fights Daniel Jacobs right away for Cinco de Mayo. You know, you also have the possibility of David Lemieux that could fight because he's with Golden Boy. You got to believe that he's going to be part of the package of 11 fights that's going to be out there for Canelo Alvarez. But Daniel Jacobs has already said that he is not going to fight Demetrius Andre. Andre and him are very good friends. They're both middleweight champions. They're both with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's plan is to keep Demetrius Andre active right now, the same way he has done with Daniel Jacobs. Jacobs already had 3 fights in 11 months. He's been very active against top undefeated contenders in the middleweight division. Now he's a world champion. Demetrius Andre is the same plan. He's going to keep him active with some top 10, top 15 fighters and then build him up to a bigger fight down the road. If Triple G was to come over to DAZN, that would be a great fight. After, let's say, one more fight that Demetrius Andre has, then we could probably see a Triple G Demetrius Andre showdown and then have Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs fight, and we can have a middleweight tournament leading up to a title unification for the undisputed crown by September 2019. That would be the perfect game plan in a perfect world, but we just have to see where the chips fall. Where will Triple G land? I say ESPN. Is Canelo Alvarez going to fight Daniel Jacobs in May of 2019? We have to just wait and see how that plays out. The fight that I truly want to see is also Daniel Jacobs versus Jermall Charlo. That's a great fight. That's a fight that I've been calling for. The minute that Jermall Charlo stepped into the 160-pound weight division before he had his first fight in the middleweight division, I said the fight that's going to truly test him and prove his worth in this division is against Daniel Jacobs. And now Jacobs is a world champion. Jermall Charlo is now fighting Willie Monroe Jr. That's a good, decent fight. It's a stay busy fight. A lot of people say that Charlo's going to walk right through him. I don't see it that easy of a fight. I think it's going to be a good fight, competitive fight, but I see Charlo actually winning that fight. He's going to be measured by the performances of Triple G and also Billy Joe Sanders. What they was able to do against Willie Monroe Jr. is what Charlo is going to have to do better to really show a statement that he is a real threat in the middleweight division, because a lot of people are high on these Charlo brothers and they are very talented young fighters. I like them. They have a lot of skills. They have power. They have speed, but they haven't proven themselves worthy of the elite class, and they have to really show that they are the real deal. A lot of people already crowned them king of their divisions when they haven't fought the guys like Hurd and haven't fought guys like Canelo Alvarez or even Daniel Jacobs. This is the time for Charlo to step over. But if he wants those fights, those big fights, he's going to have to cross over and do at least a one-fight deal with DAZN to try to get the Daniel Jacobs fight. I think that's a beautiful fight, that it could be an agreement where he could do a one-fight deal and they can make that fight in Brooklyn, New York, and it will be a very big opportunity for Jermall Charlo and also a great fight for Daniel Jacobs if he doesn't get the Canelo Alvarez fight first. So we just have to wait and see how this plays out. But that's my final recap. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that like button, hit that bell icon, hit that subscribe button. It's very important to subscribe to this channel. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also, share this video, drop a comment, and follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clean Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.